Hi, my name is Julie Madison Pacetti. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I would describe myself as compassionate, trustworthy, and responsible. I would say compassionate because I've always felt really deeply for others and I want to do all that I can to make people happy. Also, in my classes at the beginning of the year, whenever teachers say, describe yourself in a few words, I'll always ask my friends because I don't know what to say, and they'll always say, kind, nice, or compassionate, so I feel like it fits me really well. I would also say trustworthy because in school, my teachers trust me to always do my assignments, to try my best, and to work hard on every test or project. I would also say that I'm responsible as well because my neighbors trust me with their kids and their dogs. I frequently babysit and dog sit for my neighbors, and I love doing it, and I really feel like they trust me and think I'm responsible. So what sticks out to me the most is when I got cast as Alice in the Addams Family musical last summer. I did this 2-week intensive camp where we learned the entire 2-hour musical in 2 weeks, which was already crazy difficult. So when I was going through the audition materials and I came across Alice, I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way I could play this girl. She was so crazy and so far out of my comfort zone. Her songs were so hard, so I completely avoided her in the audition process. And when I got callbacks, they asked me to read for her, and then afterwards they sent me an email asking me to send in a video of me singing her song. So I learned the song in one day and submitted it, and then they actually cast me as Alice. So I was really, really excited, but also really nervous because this was the biggest role I'd ever received, and I was like, how am I gonna do this? But once the camp started, I really got into her character and it was just so much fun, and it was definitely one of my biggest accomplishments. So I think the first thing that I would do would be to talk to my students so that I could get an idea of what they don't understand or what's confusing them. I would also try and go about it from a different learning style because I know that every kid learns differently and that there's many different ways to approach learning. So if I was teaching a lesson auditorily, like just talking, then I would try and switch to something visual so that they could see what I was talking about. Or I would try and do something within the tactile learning style so that they could feel it and actually act out what they're trying to learn. And I think that at that point, if they still were a bit confused, I think I could take them into smaller groups during different times and work with them closer and more individually to figure it out. I think that there are many factors in becoming a professional in the classroom. I think that you need to be prepared, you need to be on time, respectfully authoritative, you need to have good communication, and maintain good, healthy relationships with parents, administration, and students. Some examples of this are being prepared when I come to the classroom by having my lesson plan done and knowing what I'm going to do for the day, being on time to class, but also getting my students to places on time, as well as me being on time to things like parent-teacher conferences. I also think that it's important that my students know that I'm in charge so that they respect me, but also that I respect my administrators and other teachers around me. I also think that it's really important to have good communication with everyone at school. I think that it's important that my students know that they can talk to me and that parents know that they can talk to me, and that I can send out maybe like a weekly newsletter every week so that the parents can keep up with their kids and know what they're doing and what they're learning, and also to have good relationships with administrators as well as teachers to have a healthy, good working environment. So I've had so many amazing teachers, but Miss Key is definitely my absolute favorite. She was my teacher in kindergarten, and even though I was so young, I just remember so many things from that class, and that class really gave me a desire to learn and made me excited to be at school. We would do different learning centers. We would have a reading center, a math center, and a writing center, and it was just so fun. I was always so excited to get to the reading center. We would just do so many different activities. We went to the learning kitchen during Christmas time and we made gingerbread houses, and she taught us how to frost the gingerbread things, and it was so much fun. We also did an alphabet parade after we learned it, and I was V and I got to dress as a violet, and I loved it so much. And I just remember doing so many fun things in that class. even more than just learning. We had so many just fun things that we did. We learned a dance to Footloose that she choreographed, and we performed it for our parents. And I just have so many amazing memories of that class, and it really made me realize, like, she made such a big impact on me, so I want to make that kind of impact on my students. So there are just so many things that excite me, like decorating my classroom or seeing my students the next year, seeing how much they've grown. But what really sticks out to me is teaching my students how to read. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do, and I just can't wait to leave that big of an impact on my students, because reading is something that they will use for the rest of their lives, past school and whatever they do. Reading is just so vital. And I think that it's so cool that I would get to teach students the alphabet, teach them how to make words, how to be able to write sentences, how to read books. And I just can't wait to do things like that. I've been volunteering in a kindergarten class this year, and it's so neat for me to see the growth that they've made in such a short amount of time. They'll come running up to me and show me how they can spell cat or just different words. And just to see that excitement makes me so incredibly excited to teach them the same things. So I think that I'm a great candidate for this program because of my dedication to this profession. I've grown up around so many amazing teachers, both in school and in my own life, and just seeing their drive in their work and how much joy it brings them has really inspired me to become a teacher. I also think that I possess really great qualities to be a teacher. I'm energetic, I'm so excited to teach and to learn, and I can't wait to do that in the classroom. I also think that I'm calm, which is a great quality to have, because especially in elementary school, it can be, a little crazy with all the little ones running around, but I think it's great that I'm really confident in my abilities to maintain a level head in stressful situations.